What the fuck? A tree. A fucking tree. The Killing Tree is a film that actually exists. This isn't a joke, despite the premise, despite the bonkers idea, despite the fact that some people sunk a little bit of money into this, and boy, do I mean a little bit of money into this. It's available on Tubi, or not Tubi. Yes, I'm always going to make that joke because I can't help it. And is about a, wait for it, a tree that kills. Why does a tree kill? Well, first I need to tell you this comes to us from the director of the upcoming Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare. I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to those particular movies, even though if this is anything to go on, I'm a little bit worried. But that being said, it looks like more effort went into those. So, a serial killer, a man, and his wife, they went on a murdering spree because there were so many sinners in the world, they had to teach them the true meaning of Christmas by killing them. No, really, that was actually the idea. They were killing people around the holidays, and they had this idea to kill 12 families in one night. And there was a man named Clayton Clayton Slater. Slater with a Y for maximum douchiness. No, really, that's actually where we're at here. That's actually where we're at. This is also written by a guy that's done a bunch of horror schlock, Craig Larray. And honestly, do you care who's in this? Do you really care who's in this? It's a movie about a possessed Christmas tree. Because what else do you need from a movie? Now, I will say the one thing about this movie, it's mercifully short. It's just 72 minutes, and it gets you in the holiday spirit. No, in all seriousness, this movie has a bonkers premise, has a few funny little moments, but really isn't nearly as funny as it should be. In fact, it treats itself way too seriously at times when it's about, again, a spiritually possessed Christmas tree. There's a serial killer in a Christmas tree that's killing. And I don't understand why the movie couldn't lean more into the fact that it's about that. Yeah, so after there's a girl, Faith, got to have faith. That's Sarah Alexandra Marks. Oh, hi, Marks. She is getting over the death of her parents, basically because her parents were killed by Mr. Slater. And the wife of this guy brings him back, but the spell goes wrong and he ends up in a tree instead of being in somebody else's body. I don't know if spoilers are really going to goddamn matter, so I'm just going to spoil this movie because missing out on this will not haunt you even well past the intro of this particular review. So yeah, that's your warning. There's going to be spoilers in this, so sorry, but there you go. So basically, the wife tries to bring him back. He ends up in a tree, and he ends up somehow killing her, slashing her throat, somehow, with a tree branch. I don't exactly know how that works, and he's a crying tree because he really needs his wife, because his wife, Morrigan, was actually, Morrigan, Eleanor. He really found out she was kind of the brains of the operation, even though he had the idea. She was the smart one. He was just the killer. And then he sees this picture of all the victims, and the one that he couldn't get, Miss Faith, the Faith. I'm coming to get you. And the tree jumps out in a comically hilarious way. The special effects for this movie are absolutely abysmal. But again, it's called The Killing Tree, or Demonic Christmas Tree, as it's known in some circles. And I'm coming to get you. You can't stop me. I'll get you. Yes. And then there's a bunch of extras in this, a bunch of people who claim to be friends but really don't seem to have that much synergy. Faith is haunted by the death of her family. Merry Christmas. And then everybody just starts dying eventually. Actually, it takes a while for people to die. There's a drunk guy that ends up getting killed because the branches come out, and it's like it's like if the movie Tentacles from 1977 tried to have CGI, except they would have done better CGI back then, despite the fact CGI didn't even exist at that point. Green screen technology did. And so he kills a drunk guy with his branch. He's like, maybe this isn't all that bad. And he's just a British guy killing indiscriminately. That's all he is. he also had a map that was like trying to find a particular house. So these two house guests leave, and then he ends up he ends up killing this one couple that knew Faith's parents by pretending to be a Christmas tree in the middle of the road. Instead of going around the tree, they get out. He gets killed, the husband does, and then the wife gets strangled by holiday lights. Why I'm trying to analyze a movie called The Killing Tree, I have no idea. There are two blondes that are in a relationship, two blonde women, that is touched on for exactly 2 minutes of the movie. In fact, a lot of this movie is involving walking, talking, and relationship discussion. And grief. In a movie called The Killing Tree, look, I understand if you can't, maybe have the goddamn thing out there all the time, but this movie went the route of not having the killing tree in all that much. Mr. Slater didn't have a chance to spread his branches and kill everybody. It was like watching, bad Christmas hentai, if you get anything about the tentacles. And 30 minutes in, those people get killed. And then finally, it gets in the car. Somehow the tree can drive. I don't understand that. And gets to the house, and then more drinking and more other stuff goes on. And then eventually, this one redhead and her boyfriend get killed. The redhead got, watched her boyfriend get ripped apart, which was kind of funny. She gets caught in this pool house and killed because he just does that. Just kills her like that. And then Faith sees one of her friends get killed when they're playing a little, nighttime tennis while Faith is blindfolded. Why you would do that in the dead of winter, I don't know. And then she gets killed. Becky gets killed. Oh my God, Becky, look at this tree. It is so big. It must be, it can't be one of those white girls. They like big furs. They cannot lie. You other pines can't deny. And I really can't come up with anything else because that song is really fucking stupid. Sir Mix-a-Lot should be brought up on crimes against music for that. There's the fight discussion in the comments, and he's controlling some kind of Christmas tree, and then people get killed gradually. I mean, people get killed in like one little funny part where one guy gets killed by the tree branch going to the roof. Like weird tentacles where he's drinking blood or something. I don't exactly get it. He's killing them. He kills a couple more Faith's friends, and then there's a couple left. This one tries shooting the tree. That doesn't work. She gets hung by lights. And then there's Cindy and Faith left, and she can't rescue Cindy. Cindy gets pulled into the tree and killed. So Faith runs away into the woods, and he actually says, "You think you know these woods." It's like, but you merely adopted them. I was, born and molded by them. I didn't leave these trees until I wasn't a sapling. And then she's almost getting killed. She's being strangled by Garland, not Judy Garland. And then suddenly this weird light pops up. Suddenly Judith Light appeared. And her parents are now good trees. Are you a good tree or a bad tree? And then we get the trees battling in what looks like PS2 gumdrop graphics. It's the only way I can describe it. They bash each other and then they burst into flames, and that's it. And that's the end of the possessed Christmas tree movie. Because then they leave the house. Because why? It was either all a dream or the parent trees made it seem like a dream. She's all confused. No, you've been wandering around for hours. Wait a second. No, people were dead. Oh, it was all a dream. The joke's on us, I guess. Or maybe it wasn't a dream. And then they leave the house, and then there's these, Cthulhu-like eyes in the tree, and that's it. I spent way more time talking about The Killing Tree than I probably should. This movie should have been more fun than it was. At times it was alright, and I want to give it above an F, but I can't because it's basically incompetent and not nearly as fun as it should be. And again, it's called The Killing Tree. It's not like you should expect it to be all that great, but nevertheless, yeah, that's basically it. F. Even for the entertainment, because it doesn't come alive nearly enough, and it should have been fun. It should have been a lot more fun for a movie called The Killing Tree, about a possessed tree. So yeah, let's get in the holiday spirit. Yay! Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.